back, sports fans. We are back for another episode of The Fan and the End. I'm your host, as always, Steven Rychel. To the right of me, the man on the mic, Mr. Marvin Powell III. Ben Troupe will be joining us shortly, my friends. How are we feeling, my friend? Last day of June. About to get hot.
Man, it's already hot here in Atlanta.
We got a heat index of I think it's 107 on Friday.
Yeah, man, you got people dying all around the world because of this heat situation, man. It's real. This heat. Listen, I take winter all day long, bro. I take the winter all day long. When it's hot, you can strip down naked and still be burning up. At least when it's cold, you can layer. You know, what I mean, you can address that, man. But when it's hot and it's humid and you got mosquitoes out there, it's rough, man.
Heat exhaustion. You gotta watch your kids running around out there. Make sure they're hydrated. Suntan lotion, all that fun stuff. Yeah, but it's gonna be a hot one. Hear that as we're getting ready to start July. Mere days away from the 250th anniversary of this country. So, but we got a lot of fun sports talk stuff to kind of go over. And I want to get right into it, and I want to get something that I know is I wanted to get your opinion as soon as I heard it. So Obviously we know Buffalo Bills are going into a new stadium this season, right?
Yeah.
And the powers that be are deciding they're going to omit O.J. Simpson will not be moving along to the Wall of Fame to Highmark Stadium. I know it's for some people it's a touchy subject. Some people will still to this day feel that he was guilty. Some people say he proved himself innocent. Some say that what you do off the field shouldn't affect what you did on the field. It's not like you're having situations where you're naming stadiums and things like that. Like I get that, but we can't erase what the man did on the field. Considering he's one of your alumni there. Are you ripping him down at the Coliseum? You don't want to see his name. You don't want to see his number.
Why would I do that? Because he tried to steal back his memorabilia. When you look at his big case, the big thing we all know him for outside of running for 2,000 yards in 14 games, he was innocent, and this is selective outrage. This is a guy who went through the system. The system said he was not guilty. He was judged by 12 people, 12 peers who said he was not guilty. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like why is this even a thing? You know what I mean? Now I get it, because there's been so much interest in it. They did the video, and they spent a lot of time investigating the details of what happened and where the first case went wrong, and and of course it went wrong because he was not guilty. Look, at the end of the day, we pick and choose when we want to have outrage. We pick and choose, when we want to be sensitive on a subject, and we overlook certain things and other things. And I mean, we don't have to get into make this political, but I mean, you got a president who's who's convicted of sexual assault and has 25 women who've gone on record saying he raped them. He's mentioned more times in the Epstein files than Jesus is in the Bible, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But OJ is not okay. So again, to me, it's really, it just shows the hypocrisy that we all have inside of us, you know what I mean? And a double standard, but it is what it is, man. I mean, the Bills have no Super Bowls. The Bills have nothing to brag about in the history of their entire franchise. You have nothing to claim. Nothing. All right.
Yes, they do. They're four straight AFC championships.
Juice is the biggest star you have ever had. He's the best player you have ever had. Yes, he was convicted of stealing back his memorabilia. If that's why you don't want him, then it is what it is, man. But I've seen many men go on trial, be not guilty, and there's questions as to that situation. So I think it's unfortunate for the game. I think it's unfortunate for the generation who saw him play. I think it's unfortunate for the people who are able to put off the field stuff, to the side and just focus on the game itself, because his contributions to the game were enormous. his contribution to the game have lasted the test of time. You know what I'm saying? We're still talking about him not just for when you're off the field, but when you're on the field. Again, he was the first NFL running back to run for 2,000 yards. He did it in 14 games with the worst team in the league, a non-passing game, and in Buffalo, cold-ass Buffalo. Yeah. So for an organization who has nothing to celebrate, I think you should take him and his not guilty verdict and put him on that wall. What y'all doing? Who y'all gonna put?
I agree. It is selective outrage because, like I said, and I don't want to point fingers and say, "Well, what about this guy?"
I do.
That guy?
We can. We need to. We can.
He's like, I do help with that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, but we talk about this all the time. Like, there has to be a line between athletics and personal life. You're like, there's some guys that were amazing athletes, but they're monster people. And not to sit there and say that OJ was a monster, but like, when you go through all the people that have wore that shield on their chest, being an NFL athlete, none of them are freaking choir boys. Like, come on, stop playing with me, guys.
None of the owners, none of the people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if
none of the people in the stands who are the fans, not mirror you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Seriously.
Oh man, it is just weird, and I mean, look, I have no horse.
I ain't got no body. I ain't got no alleged bodies on my name attached to my name. That's a stretch. I know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not making light of what happened. But just real talk though. Like you said, nobody involved in the process of choir boy, and he was not guilty. What are we doing?
It's like you said, you already said it, selective outrage, and I think it's BS coming from that franchise. I've already got bones to pick what I think they're a soft franchise, when they were trying to jump on the bandwagon when we were at the owners meeting last year when they were trying to ban the tush push. That wasn't even on the docket this year. But they were the ones trying to ban it when they ran it the more times than the Eagles did or any other team in the NFL did last year. So it's one of those things. Like, I agree. I think Buffalo got other things to worry about. Worry about winning your first championship as an organization before you worry about omitting former legends who's had been a part of a major case, major investigation that he was acquitted of. So, I mean, it's there's other things I think that we should be concentrating on. And it's sad that he's not here to defend himself, to sit there and say, hey, this or that. It's like kind of like when you ban Pete Rose, right? And you wait, you're waiting to take him off the ban list after he's dead. He can't sit there and say, like, you know what, I don't want this anymore. So it's, look, like I said, I don't have a horse in this race because I'm not like, I didn't get to see OJ. All I saw of OJ was an actor. But I always say, I always look at what they did on the field, and you'd already highlighted everything that needed to be said. He is one of the greats of this game. Don't sully his name where he can't say anything in his defense. I don't like the way people go about those things. But hey, if that's what Buffalo, how they want to get started off on their two wrong feet with their fan base, at least the guys like you who watched him play. So it's a sad day for Buffalo. It's a sad day for the USC family as well, because I mean that's sitting there running that program's reputation down too. So listen, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I mean I think when I seen that, I was like, man, that's.
But man, the hypocrisy behind all this stuff, man. And I've met OJ. He was very decent to me and my wife when we met. We had a nice conversation years ago when I was living in Miami. But, after his trial, right, you had so many, I feel like the world was divided on, if you like him, if you don't like him, if you think he's a criminal, you think, whatever. And I remember being in a restaurant in Miami, and this restaurant was packed. I was sitting on the second floor of the restaurant. And OJ walked in with a blonde, okay? Again, this is after the trial, after everybody's formed their opinion, say what they want to say. when he walked into that restaurant, you would have thought that Jesus Christ walked into that restaurant. You would have thought that the biggest that
Everyone
Elvis was
stopped and went silent, right?
boy, you would have thought Elvis was in the building. The way the women, the men, just flocked to him, and I mean, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread when he walked into that environment. And these are people who half of them, have talk bad about him, have something to say. The other half probably indifferent. But man, his celebrity status was, it was high even after that verdict. It's unfortunate, man. It really is, because
it is. And like I said, my biggest thing is he can't defend himself, and there's no one there to defend him to sit there and say or push back on this. And I think that's another reason why Buffalo just did it the way they did it. And they waited till after the stadium was built. But like, listen, we're not putting them on there now. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Come on now. All right.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the next thing, and I'm sure when this happened, you knew we were going to talk about it this week, right? So the WNBA doing WNBA things again over the past few weeks, and for whatever reason, they just won't leave Caitlin Clark alone. They just won't leave her alone, and it's sad to see how it's how we've seen this for 3 years now. Right. I'm not sitting there saying that she should be treated any differently, and her coaches nor herself. So they just want the same level of calls to be played for everybody. There's not a new rule for this person, a different rule for that person, and then even like how that the whole thing transpired after the fact. Right. I mean, obviously, everyone had their thoughts on the whole situation. And you have everyone's comments and everything like that, but then it takes them 2 days to levy a suspension. It's a 1-game suspension. It's like, what is that? That's not gonna deter anybody from how they're going to play a specific player. Right. At this point in time, like. She's on the shelf. She's got a back injury. We don't know, how long that's going to be. And, backs are funny. Anyone who's had a back injury knows that, how this person's back injury heals up and that person's back injury. It's two totally different things because not two backs of the injuries are always the same. But
right, yeah, it's a tricky injury,
and it's just like what are we doing? Like, I get it. When it comes to, the whole Caitlin Clark situation, but like we've watched this for 3 years now, and this is how they play them, and for whatever reason they don't get the whistles, or it's after the fact that they'll levy some type of suspension, fine, etc. Why are we getting it to this point? Because let's be honest, they wouldn't have gotten the CBA deal they got this past offseason if you don't have a Caitlin Clark there. And I'm not sitting there saying like she should be the golden child, the face of the like. Look, I don't think she's the best star in the WNBA. She's the one that has the most eyes on her. She's the most popular brand in the WNBA. And at some point in time, the owners, the referees, you got to protect your investment. And if you're just going to let this type of play against her continue, don't be surprised when she winds up going overseas. She's just like, listen, like this is how I'm going to be treated, as how I'm always going to be treated. There's going to be no change in it. Why am I going to risk my longevity as a potential professional athlete by playing in this league? Like, what are your thoughts, Marvin? I mean, obviously there has to be some hint of jealousy in this.
So I'm happy you said that. It's a lot with Caitlin Clark. So first of all, let me say this. I've always felt that a lot of the negative energy, a lot of the negative press that a lot of young black athletes or black athletes have received really is just jealousy. It's jealousy because their money is exposed in regards to how much money they make. You get a confident dude up here, and you got people who say, "How dare you? Walk around with that confidence, arrogance." These guys can have all the women in the building. They walk into a room, and all of a sudden they become the most relevant people in the room. and there's just a lot of jealousy. And I think Caitlin Clark is someone who people are jealous of as well. You know what I'm saying? I think you have a lot of people, and I even say some of my people. Look at this white girl from Iowa out here getting all this attention, and it bothers them. But my thing is this: who in the hell has ever played the game like Caitlin Clark when she was at Iowa? I don't ever recall any college player putting up the numbers, the shots that she put up. And you talk about she didn't win a championship. So we celebrate a lot of athletes who were really good on teams that almost made it but didn't make it. I think Caitlin Clark honestly is just dealing with a straight up jealousy problem. I think people aren't accustomed to it. People don't like it. But as you said, what she's bringing is good to the game. When they put a microphone in front of her face, especially the first couple years, I thought she was always saying the right things, to be honest with you. I don't think Caitlin, I think there is a Caitlin problem. There is. I think you got people, of all demographics who are probably sick of hearing her name. You know what I'm saying? And I think you have some athletes who wonder how come, we've stopped to put a spotlight on her. I think, jealousy is a real thing. I think that in sports, you see different people, whether it's the fans or the media or the players. I think you see jealousy play out in many different areas and from many different people. She's no different. And I think she's paying her dues. I think, you want to be the celebrity, which she is. You want to be the spotlight player, which she is. You got people who feel a certain kind of way. And when you go through the paint or you end up on your back, you get in hands to the throat. That style of play isn't really foreign. So it's not like, this is a whole bunch of extra. Them girls in the W, they get after it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, little light bright Kaylin, she got a target on her back. You know what I'm saying? Being the face of the league. So I think this is pure jealousy, man. I think it's pure jealousy. This is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? For a Caucasian athlete out there who's getting a lot of press and balling. But black athletes been dealing with jealousy their whole life in so many different ways. And, it's unfortunate. But, again, I think we all should be honest about the fact that race is so embedded in all of us by the media and just by the government and everything else that it plays out. Some of us recognize it within ourselves. Some of us don't. Some of us, are much more racist. Some people are just conscious. You know what I'm saying? There are different levels for everybody. But, race is a big factor. Jealousy is a big factor. And this is the world we live in.
Ben, your thoughts that, what are your thoughts on how Caitlin Clark is still being treated? We're in year 3 of her professional career.
She's Larry Bird without the championships. When Larry Bird was in the NBA, he was surrounded by black talent, but he was so good that you knew that anything that was said about him was jealousy, was hate. Caitlin Clark, I'm going to say this. Anytime you try to exclude your best player, where do they do that in any league? Like, they don't do that nowhere else. When they wanted Wemby to win the championship because he's easier to promote as a 7'6" guy than the Knicks as a team. Now, the Knicks was good for the NBA. Mike Trout was the best player in baseball. He just didn't win a champ. He didn't win a World Series. They still, hoisting him up with everything they did with him. When it comes to Caitlin Clark, she don't need nobody else. Angel Reese needs Caitlin Clark for us to take notes. That doesn't mean Angel Reese ain't a good player. And something you said too, Marv. Look, with what she did, when's the last time you were just watching women's college basketball? When she played? Hey, man, I want to see this young lady play. Why? Because hate draws people to you. Why y'all so – what's up with this young lady? Everybody they're talking about her on non-sports networks, CNN, Fox. They're talking about her over there. So the WNBA has a Caitlin Clark problem because she giving you a layup. She got her own shoe deal. Listen, Asia Wilson, she's the best player in basketball. No doubt about it, right? Everybody needs a villain. Everybody needs another person. Like, I remember what Magic and Larry Bird meant to the league. Here come this Jordan dude in the Midwest, kind of bringing both sides together. And he took it. Caitlin Clark is a face that is recognizable when she's not on the court. How many of these young ladies outside their height would you know them if you saw them in public? You wouldn't. You would know Caitlin if you saw her. That's Caitlin Clark right there. That kind of stuff is marketable, and I don't understand when somebody is giving you something of this caliber while you just get behind it. And you said it, Marv, hate is a real thing. You really, all these gurus and masterclass guys walk around talking about people, just do this to be successful. No. Success and team success is different. The best team is going to win the chip. Caitlin Clark is the reason why you're watching. Like, Caitlin Clark got people tuning in to WNBA like they're going to get that type of action. Caitlin Clark got people getting suspended for choking her. Why are you trying to choke her? You're trying to get her because she's that good. Caitlin, remember when you were watching, didn't the Detroit Pistons have the Jordan rules? You got the Caitlin Clark rules. These teams are doing all kinds of stuff. You can't stop her. If you're in front of her, you can't do nothing with her. But I just think that when I look at the Caitlin Clark situation, it's why the WNBA has the problems that it has. It's why, Marv, when I think about the National Football League, the quarterbacks are going to they're the most marketable because they are the most recognizable. Now you're going to get, some Jamar Chases and Justin Jeffersons and Bijan Robinsons and, Christian McCaffreys. But when the NFL is good is when the quarterbacks are the best players. When the Joe Montanas and the Steve Youngs and the Steve McNairs, it's easier to market that. Taking nothing away from other players, but the average football player walk around their city, people might not know who they are. Jalen Hurts, that's Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I don't care if he cut his hair off or got the little small mustache. That's Jalen Hurts right there, right? That's Lamar Jackson. That's Patrick Mahomes. Not, hey, man, do Isaiah Pacheco, how does he look? Oh, he don't even play for Kansas City anymore? It's that type of thing going on with the WNBA to where I have a recognizable superstar that, let's call it what it is, because she's white, people are pissed. Like it's as simple as that. Like, it's crazy because Cooper DeJean plays quarterback. No, he's white and plays corner. What? He a white quarterback? That stuff matters. But in the WNBA, we wanted to look a certain way. That's not taken away from a Cheryl Swoops and a Lisa Leslie. They need to stop that. You're killing their legacy. Lies. Their legacy grows because more eyes are on it. So now when Lisa Leslie is on somebody's sideline, on somebody's own bench coaching, now people say, hey, Lisa, this might be an opportunity for you to get more recognition for what you meant to the league and so on and so forth. But let's call it what it is. I want the younger generation to get more shine, to bring more attention to the sport. It doesn't mean that you were better or worse. And when people saying, hey, man, she got to win a championship. No, you hope she does because you talk about it like she does. And being away from the game and, being an old head, whatever they want to call us these days, the last thing the current crop of players want us to do is come in there telling them how good we were. No, we can't. You either recognize what we've done or not. But we can pick up these new players. We're supposed to say, yeah, man, we trying to help these players. We trying to have another $500 million quarterback. We trying to have $100 million running back. Because once one does it, it can be done. But with Caitlin Clark, it's, well, I ain't never seen no white girl that can do this. I ain't never seen no white girl that take over the league like this. Embrace it. Yeah, but embrace it. Because guess what? If they didn't know who you were before she got in the league, you think hating on her gonna make them know who you are? No, that makes you a hater. That's it. That's not gonna make you better. And I'm never. I guess because I didn't come from that cloth, I think being a hater is less about where you played and more about your bloodline. If your bloodline ain't got no hate in it, you ain't gonna hate. I don't care. It's Marvin Powell for the Hall of Fame every show I come on. Not because it's a hashtag, but because it should have happened by now. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that say, well, I don't think Marvin Powell was that good. Why? Because he dominated you? Because once again, when people ask me why do I say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest basketball player ever? Because he was the greatest in high school, college, and pro. It wasn't just one area. Go back to high school, the best. Go back to UCLA, the best. Go back to when he was with the Bucks and the Lakers. I said it about your pops, Marv, because it's like this. It's crazy. I ain't tell you this, Marv, but I did ask some. I know some guys that played online. I asked them, and these are the guys that played with me. I said, man, you know a guy named Marvin Powell? They said they went to SC. Like, yeah. Right. And when I told them I'm doing a show with you, they was like, man. And you know the first thing they said, man, the fact they knew they in the Hall of Fame, I ain't even have to say that dude ain't even in the Hall of Fame yet. And I was like, because when I talk to the guys that did it, they go, oh yeah, man. They say like he played like They say your daddy was nasty, man. They say he'll do you bad, out there. So yeah, when it comes to the Caitlin Clark, to sum it up, is if you've never been an ambassador for the best player in your league because you know it helps you, that's what you. If it's like this, you want a content creator to get 100 million because that just shows that we have that opportunity to get it because somebody did it. Doesn't mean we're gonna get it, and that doesn't mean that's where we start negotiations. But somebody gave somebody 100 million that do what we do. Okay, what if we go, man? He shouldn't have got that. That's too much. You know how crazy we sound? They gave him what or her what? And I don't get that part. I don't get the part of, wait a minute. I can help the league grow by pushing the best player. Yeah, duh. That's what you're supposed to do. I get it. The competitive nature is when we come out there on the court, but the WNBA front office got a problem. Not just the players. The players gonna do what they do, but they put out some little graphic that they didn't have her on. Come on.
Oh yeah, when they did the 30-year anniversary, right?
Listen, so, and I know we might get to it. It's like if the Buffalo Bills would get the new stadium, they ain't gonna put O.J. Simpson in it.
That's what me and Marvin started with.
That is. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. That's the kind of stuff make me know I can't root for certain franchises because somebody let that go. Somebody said, "Yeah, man, we're gonna prove." Look, the first reality TV star we ever saw was Juice. He had a real reality TV show with what was going on. You don't got to like it, dislike it, whatever happened. But here's the thing. I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep saying it. If O.J. Simpson's wife was black, no one would give a F. No one would have cared like that. But because of how his wife looked, and listen, and Marv can speak to this, in the Hollywood Hills, ain't a lot of black people. It's probably more black people there now. It wasn't a lot when Juice was out there. He was the most recognizable black man in the Hollywood Hills. And when that happened, wait a minute, man, Juice, you can't do that. And I'm not saying if he did, because they said he was guilty. You can go back and this and the third. But for the Buffalo Bills, I'm gonna say this: Josh Allen ain't better than Juice. Are you serious? Josh Allen ain't better than O.J. Simpson. I got Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly, Juice, maybe Thurman Thomas. Come on, bro. You're not putting Juice in your stadium. That's the I don't understand stuff like that, but that just lets you know. You want to know that jealousy still lives in 2026. You're not gonna put O.J. Simpson in your. Who you gonna put? James Cook? That's BS, man. Get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that. Get out of here.
And the jealousy is real because you even see like when you see some of these other stars talking about how they see the Caitlin Clark situation. Some of the former Hall of Famers, superstars that came through the W. And I think you're right. I think the WNBA front office got a problem too. Because just how they go about handling things, and then we see what Sophie does the next game, right? When she pointing, and they gave her a technical for this. She didn't say anything. She didn't do anything. She was pointing and teed her up.
It's the meme going around the world right now.
She was getting under her skin. There's a way to there's the way to get under people's skin and rile them up without even doing anything. And Sophie just proved it. Y'all don't need to beat the girl up. Y'all need to beat her up. Y'all just need to rattle her cage a little bit, get in her head. Doing it the way they're doing it, it needs to stop. The WNBA needs to go about it a different way. The referees need to go about it a different way. But the question is, will Caitlin Clark survive another 2 seasons?
They better hope she does. They better hope she. All I'm saying is, once again, if Marvin Powell and Steve Rychel are the best podcasters out, right? And just say I got a show, or somebody asks me, and I go, oh man, I'm supposed to say, hell yeah, love what them dudes doing, because what they're trying to do is they want a headline. Hey, no, you can get over here. Because I don't know who knows y'all. So I'm negotiating with the people that y'all negotiated with, but I'm telling them, yeah, you shouldn't get. No, I don't get that. Because most of us, if we're blessed to go pro, we're just going to be a face. Everybody's not going to be remembered. You need to get out of that. Oh, everybody knows you because you was a pro. It don't go like that. But if somebody asks me about the best tight ends ever, I'm not gonna say I'm better than all them dudes. That's stupid. What? I can tell you who the best was, and I'm happy that they got tight end you, right? I wasn't gonna be a Kyle Pitts that got the second team All Pro. I was gonna be like the dude down there with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Strange. But they both got paid. And once again, it's this thing that I got to be the face. You think everybody's ready? You think everybody's ready to be the face of a league? You think you think you really know what comes with that? Oh, you always got to be on. I can't even go get nothing to eat. I can't even show that I'm human. God forbid I do something, I make a mistake. These young ladies in the WNBA, y'all making more money than y'all have ever made. Y'all making $1 million a year.
They're making more than UFC fighters.
Man, and once again, y'all doing that, and she just got here. If she's been here for 10 years, y'all making $3 million a year. But here's the thing. She got to be making 4. The best player can't be making the least. They got to make the most. Didn't Patrick Mahomes just renegotiate? Because no quarterback should be making more than him. Like, hey, dude. So that's how the league's supposed to go. The best player, or no, I'm sorry. She's not the best player. The face of the WNBA should be right there as far as money. Because last time I checked, Asia and Caitlin got shoe deals. Do anybody else got shoe deals? I don't know. I know 2 people that do. And one of them is the best player in basketball. The other one, she making young girls want to hoop. Because I'm telling you, Caitlin Clark is an anomaly, man. Like, people pissed. And like I said, if Caitlin Clark was black, this wouldn't even be a discussion. It's crazy how if she was black, it wouldn't be a discussion. But because she sports has really taken a turn. Like, what is going on? Wait, because think about this. Think about somebody who don't know that Caitlin Clark is white. And they saying, what's the big deal? They show a picture. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, man. That's like, Joshua Dobbs, right? When he's the smartest engineer or neuroscientist in the world, when he comes out and he ain't got no eyebrows and he's black, like, what the? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I play football. So it's cool, man. Listen, Caitlin, hey, man, now go talk to LeBron. Now go ask him what it's really like. See what I'm saying? When you get to do stuff like this, LeBron say, if I'm not that good, yeah, ask KD what it's like without me. Ask Kyrie what it's like without me. Ask him. Because everybody got something to say about LeBron going in the year 24. KD is going in the year 20. So these guys been there a long time. I'm just saying. That's another conversation for another day, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now you were talking about the next. I need to bring up that championship run here for a second, right? First off, you were saying that the Knicks is good for the NBA. Oh, it's definitely good for the NBA. They had the best numbers that they've had in over 20 years. With the New York Knicks claiming the NBA championship over the San Antonio Spurs, first and foremost, and y'all need to give Derek Brunson his dues.
Ooh,
like now that's just what they were doing with the meet and greet. I just wanted to find one with a photo with him with the title, but Derek Brunson needs his dues. Not only doing that in New York, but bringing 2 of his teammates over from Nova, and then basically winning a championship in college, winning a championship for the New York Knicks, and he'll probably never have to buy a drink in that town. He'll never have to buy a drink in that town, right? But I want to get your guys' thoughts on something that happened at the parade, right? I'm sure you've seen by now, right? The stupid lady dumping the trash out on the street to steal the trash can, right? Well, she got doxxed and fired, right? You want to see the funny part about it is, right? She only waited a few more days. The city were giving away those canes.
So, hold on, what did she do though?
All right, so at the parade, people were recording this. It was full of trash, that trash can I just showed you, right?
Okay.
She dumped it out on the ground and took it home with her.
Oh, okay.
So people were recording it. They found out she was a pretty significant person at like J.P. Morgan. When they came across it, they immediately axed her. And the funny part was that, like, literally a few days later, that last graphic I showed you, that the city was giving them away. So if she would have just waited a couple of days, she could have gotten herself her trash can and still have her job today.
Well, somebody gonna hire her. That's good. That's good media. But somebody gonna hire her because they don't. If Chase is smart, they'll flip that and make that look like, hey man, that was all planned, man. We knew we was gonna. Hey man, you got to take these lips. But yeah, that's New York. Listen, New York, the Knicks winning it all, dumping out. And here's the thing, right? I mean, is that really a problem? You saw a lady dumping out she's stealing a trash can. Like, what's the problem? She's taking
the problem was that she was dumping the trash on the street.
Have you seen New York?
Yeah, I know. Right?
Okay, so who else is dumping it? Okay, we saw her. I've seen some of the streets. I ain't talking about all New York now. Have you been to certain parts of Harlem and Brooklyn? Who's dumping that trash out? But hey, I mean, she'll land on her feet. Somebody forgot to tell that lady that everything goes viral. Like, people are looking at you, ma'am. Like, dumping this. They was waiting to see. She just ran off with it. Like, yeah.
So, in the spirit of that, what is the stupidest thing you've seen a fan of your fan base do?
Shit. I tell you like this, man. There was when we played UCLA. This wasn't when I played, but there was a UCLA game, USC game, and this is actually tragic. I think USC had lost the game, and a UCLA fan was talking junk in the parking lot, and one of them essays handled that in a fatal way. When it comes to murder over the team losing the game, there's someone talking junk. No, that's dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like that's dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when USC lost to Texas in the championship to Vince Young. I went to the game and I was emotional after the game. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the few times I was emotional after a football loss as a fan. The USC lost that game to Texas. I was walking out of the Rose Bowl. Some lady got in my face and did like this, hook 'em horns, right? And I said something to her that I'm not proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean that. I said something that I'm not very proud of. So I know that I'm serious. So I know people can get emotional after games, after your team loses a big game, fights break out. I mean, people get thrown off the top of the thrown off the top of the stadium in some cases. We've seen this, So yeah, man, fandom is real. Listen, religion, sports, and family. Top three things in a lot of people's life in no particular order. You know what I'm saying? So that's real talk, and you see people act out and just do certain things as if it was their family you insulted. You talk about them Cowboys, you gotta die. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people who really think like that in certain situations, and it's crazy. It's not cool. You don't look like the ultimate fan. You look nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But for New York, as somebody who's attached to New York, having lived there, Pops played there, man, I appreciate all the love you show Pops, man. 9 years in New York with the Jets. I get it, man. I got a lot of friends out there who, after 50 years of waiting for the Knicks to be relevant, this is a big deal. This is almost like a baby being born in the family. I'm serious. This is a big deal.
It is. I don't disagree. I think watching New York win a championship, especially the Knicks after so long of them, couldn't get there. Then they would get there and falter. And I think this is the first time they've been there since like 99.
It's like 50-some years. Well, that's the first time they've been there. They have.
Yeah, I think it was the first time they were there since 99. But you're right; it's been 50 years since they won a championship. So it's one of those things where it's been long overdue, and it's one of those things like it's definitely something we talk about, like when we talk about parity and things that are good for the sport as a whole. Having the New York Knicks, the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles, having those teams being either playoff caliber or championship caliber teams is very good for the NBA. What we talked about we have 8 different NBA championships over the last 8 years. 8. Not a single repeat. Not one win one and then win, someone else wins one, you win another one, 2-3 years later. 8 different parity in the NBA is a very good thing right now. I think, despite the fact that I think everyone gravitates towards LeBron and Curry and all that. And look, I think that the NBA is probably at a popularity and as a whole probably not the biggest it's ever been, but I think the quality of play on the court is probably as high as we've ever seen it in our lifetime.
I like that. I like the parody. I mean, real quick though, it's a lot of stories when you listen. I went to University of Florida. These fans are different. Ain't even the word. It's not the word. But the craziest thing, it's a lot of stories. But the craziest story ever was Florida, Georgia, is different because you got to split everything down the middle. It's half red and black, half orange and blue. And they split the tickets. One season, I think Florida or Georgia had an extra ticket, and they was like, "Oh hell no." They got one more ticket. So they had to do this thing where they had like a burning ceremony of the ticket. Like the Florida people had to come together and this was the ticket. And they right there in front of each other, they put the gasoline on it and they sat there and watch it burn. Like, you're not getting one extra ticket. Like, that's gonna make the difference. But they sat there and watched it burn to the end. And they said that like somebody from Georgia was going to try to pick up the ashes of the ticket. Somebody from Florida, nope, you don't get to touch it. I don't want you. You don't get the ashes, nothing. In 2025, last year when Florida won it in basketball, some dude climbed up. People gonna climb up on the light. They climbed up on the freaking pole. I think it was a traffic light. Climbed up on it, and this ain't gonna end well. And he failed. So he go and he fall. But in their drunken state, the fans had enough wherewithal to stand up under him. So when he fell, they did catch him, right? and people thought it was staged, but it wasn't. Hey man, you know what I'm gonna do when we win? I'm gonna get drunk and I'm gonna climb up on the light pole. To do what? To celebrate. You ain't got you couldn't balance yourself on the light pole if you were sober, let alone drunk. So yeah, I mean, look. Their NFL fan bases are cool. They cool. College fan bases are. It's a different type of loyalty. I mean, I done heard fans tell me when I was with Florida, man, yeah, man, if y'all wouldn't have won that game, man, I was going to do something crazy. Like what? Oh, no, man, I'm going to be out of here. That's it? It's and Marv just told you, it's like there are NFL rivalries, but they kind of manufacture. UCLA SC, that's US. Listen, I'm just saying, I don't even know how Marv even survived. 2006, that game was down. I mean, God, I'm talking about wire to wire action. To the last, I'm like you, Marv. I'm like, don't get it. I'm not a fan of either team. I'm like, get it. Oh, that boy got out of there. I'm like, oh, if I'm Alabama, Auburn, that kick six, I don't want to watch football anymore. If I'm an Alabama fan and I watch that in real time, my TV is done. I done broke that TV. TV ain't did nothing. Ain't no way I can buy something. Dude, you left 1 second left on the clock and you kicked it to him. Chris Davis comes out. I'm like, don't do it. Don't. Oh, that boy gone. I say, he gone. A field goal unit's worst nightmare has to fan out and make a tackle. That is not what I want to do. Because the most athletic guys out there are probably the tight ends. They ain't finna make no tackle open field. That's awful. That's and every special teams coach in America, like, you want to show you the importance of fanning out when I tell y'all. So I don't blame Auburn. I blame that the freaking what's the guy? The guy that operates the freaking clock, because he left 1 second. It wasn't 1 second left. He just stopped it.
In the kick six game?
Huh? Yeah.
In the kick,
yeah. So just, I mean, Ma, think about this. The average play take what, 4-5 seconds? It's like 3 seconds left on the clock. They run the play and 1 second left. Oh, people like this. So when they kicked it, Nick Saban, you see how Nick Saban just ran the field? Like, I'm telling you, man. I said, dude, that's the game. If they go to overtime, Alabama probably win. If they go to overtime, nope. And you know what's? And let me tell you how humble life is. Chris Davis, the guy that did the kick six, is the same guy that gave up the game with a touchdown to Kelvin Benjamin in the national championship. That's him. So the one that gave up the touchdown to Kelvin Benjamin, same guy to run back.
That was a game in LA. I went to that game. That was a great game.
Man. And so look, I'm sorry. If you don't know they about to throw a slant to a 6'5", 6'6" receiver on a 5'9" cornerback, you shouldn't be playing football. I knew that was coming. And they're like, what happened? I say, hey, man, Devin Hester, for those who don't know, the greatest kick returner, punt returner, he got drafted as a quarterback. Didn't he play receiver in the league? Okay. So everybody, I'm just saying, hey, man, what they say, hands are great, feet are better. You got to have good feet. You want to play corner, baby. Just saying, stone hands. But yeah, that's. I couldn't be no Alabama fan. Kick six I would have had to go to therapy. I would have like, hey, bro, I need some help. I don't drink and smoke or nothing, but that would have made me become an alcoholic and a freaking man. I root for Florida though, so it ain't much different. I root for Atlanta, so watch out for your local bars.
The kick six was great for the game, man. It really was.
Because it was.
Yeah, in football, all you hear about is playing to the whistle, playing to the end. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to believe. Like, all these things we grow up hearing, you know what I'm saying, you see played out in that situation, man. And it's real. And Nick Saban talked about it. One of the greatest plays in the history of the game. I'm happy you brought that up. I watched it live on TV. I remember just being like, wow. I mean, I feel like all them Alabama fans were going to go home and off themselves. You know what I'm saying? God forbid. But it was that emotional. It was that dramatic.
If the trash talking, okay, if that's SC, UCLA, and SC running back, bigger than the running back, UCLA fans, that's going to be the longest walk to their car ever. Because I got to remind you of what like you didn't just see it. Oh, y'all thought y'all was going to win? Get out of here, clowns.
You got to deal with the whole offseason.
There is no sympathy for your rival. Next game. Oh, yeah. There is no sympathy and empathy for that stuff. I don't want to hear that. I mean, Florida didn't make a bowl game in 2025, right? But we made sure Florida State, who had 5 wins, they need one more win. Nope. You ain't going to one either. Florida State. And people say, well, Ben, y'all ain't make a bowl game. Okay. Florida State had 1 guy drafted. I'm telling you, listen, when it comes to your rivals, you hate them. You talking. This is like the NFC East times a million. I'm telling you, I don't know who, SC. I mean, I would say this. Y'all probably got people that won't show how to be their rivals. Like, people say, what about Stanford? What about Cal? Sorry. Nothing against them, no Cal college teams. I respect them. It's UCLA and SC. And that's nothing against Fresno and Cal and Stanford and San Jose State. Sorry, man. Y'all like little brothers. Y'all got a bunch of little brothers in California. So, because people used to get mad, like, hey, man. People say, Tony Gonzalez went to Cal. He couldn't get an SC. He's a Southern Cal kid, ain't he? Ain't he like from Southern Cal or something like that?
He's from California.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. I mean, Junior Seau, and he from Oceanside. What's it called? Oceanside, something like that. Yeah. Went to SC. Yeah. No one says, "Hey man, SC or Cal Berkeley." No, and that's no disrespect. SC or Stanford, where their mascot is a tree. No. So, and I know the Cal. Nothing against them California colleges, right? I'm just saying, SC, National Brand, Stanford, y'all got a tree. Y'all had Andrew Luck. Well, I'm just saying.
Now, getting into the main topic of the day, as last week's trade has kind of made some noise in the NBA's Eastern Conference, as Giannis is now in Miami. Big trade has happened, and my question is now, right? Does the Giannis trade make the Miami Heat an instant contender in the East? Or does it say that they're closer to putting together a playoff roster? Ben, start off with you on this one.
If I know that I think since it's happened, I think Wiggins has signed. I think he signed with the Heat. If guys are willing to take discounts to play with Giannis and Bam, or really Giannis, yeah, because you're gonna have to take a discount to play for Miami. You're gonna have to take a big. So if guys want to win, let me say this: if guys who have already quote made their money and they want to keep playing with a Giannis and a Bam, yeah. I mean, because they gave up everything. My goodness. I mean, they really want the Giannis.
That was a big trade. Big trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Giannis being a superstar, when you are a superstar, you decide where you want to go. And Giannis picked Miami over Boston. He didn't want to go to Boston. And for everybody saying that, oh, you don't trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis, you trading the Finals MVP for a Finals MVP. No, Jaylen Brown is not the player Giannis is. They both got the same number of chips, same number of Finals MVPs. Now, if Giannis would have went to Boston, yes, sir. It's gonna get ugly with him and Tatum. Oh, it's gonna get ugly. But Bam, and I love Bam. Outside of the 80-something points, I mean, Bam is good. He ain't a bad player. But I think it makes Miami interesting to have a Giannis, but you're gonna have to add some more pieces, because the last thing you wanted was a New York Knicks team winning championships. They're gonna be because Boston gonna be a problem once Tatum gets. Giannis might be.
What we seen of Tatum at the end of last year was a guy who was probably 70-80%.
Yeah, Giannis might be the new KD superstar, but ain't gonna win no more chips. Like, yeah, you're gonna put up numbers, you're gonna be an all NBA player. I'm sorry, man. That's it's the curse of LeBron. It's the curse.
What are your thoughts, Marvin? Does moving Giannis to Miami make them an instant contender in the East?
I mean, on paper, maybe, but let me tell you something, man. I'm through with these on paper NBA teams in the preseason. I remember when Brooklyn had KD and Kyrie and the third guy, and I'm like, who the hell?
Harden.
Yeah.
Like, Mister, I don't know how to play basketball in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm like, who in the world is gonna ever beat Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? And them dudes was terrible. Them dudes was trash. They couldn't, it was crazy. And you've seen all these super teams pop up on paper in the preseason. And at the end of the day, what you realize is continuity matters, team matters, chemistry matters. You know what I'm saying? And like just having names on paper, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not what it comes down to. And Giannis is a great player, was a great player. But I mean, he's had a couple of injuries. Bobby Portis is getting older. Bam. I mean, who's the shooter on the team? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I think they got names. They got some good old names. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they got young dogs out there. I don't know if they got, dudes who going to be able to play through the season, play in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like I've seen this movie before. You know what I'm saying? And
I've seen this movie before, Marvin. You're right.
So, are they going to be a contender? If they're healthy, they'll be competitive.
That's why I said contender. I didn't say, championship caliber team. Just a contender.
They'll make the playoffs. I mean,
that's what
they'll make the playoffs.
Having them in the mix, I think.
We don't appreciate. Marv make a great point. I remember when Jalen Brunson and them. That was supposed to be Stoudemire, right? And Carmelo, right? I remember when they both nothing. I'm talking about nothing. Then James Harden. Oh Lord, James Harden. Man, it's just superstar.
Is he the most overrated superstar in the NBA? I mean,
probably. I mean, when you talk about expectation, the lack thereof, yeah. The only guy I could say, even though he's not the player he used to be, and I didn't get it for a long time, was Paul George. People would go crazy. Paul George. The three guys that will go down in history to me, they ain't the worst. It's gonna be Paul George. It's gonna be James Harden, and I know you hate this name, Steve. It's gonna be Ben Simmons. Good Lord.
I hear he wants to come out of retirement and Philadelphia's on his list of places he wants to play. I don't think I want that poison again.
Ben Simmons is coming back out. He's coming out.
He's saying after his year away from the NBA, he wants to try to come back, and Philadelphia is among the places that he would like to go play. I'm out on that. I'm completely out on that. Just so we know. Look, I think Miami is an interesting team in the East. I think Giannis helps them get closer to contending in the East. The East isn't a bunch of paper teams anymore. You have 4 to 5 teams that are really good and it can give you fits on any given night. So I agree with Ben that they're going to need more than just what they have right now. They're going to need something else. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, and over the last week or so, it's been heating up the whole LeBron and Golden State thing. Because they just the Draymond Green player option was just declined. They got an extra almost $30 million to play with. And the other side of that rumor is that Golden State is in the middle of trying to bring AD to Golden State to lure LeBron in. Now we were.
I don't get that. Out of all the people to lure LeBron,
Mr. Glass,
you're gonna get
Mr.
AD.
Glass, I love it.
Listen, I'm telling you, my mom goes, AD is really, really good when he's healthy. Well, yeah, he is, isn't he? The problem is, it's not a matter. AD is kind of like after Derrick Rose hurt it, like messed up his knee. He was never the same because he kept getting hurt. Mm-hmm. I know LeBron love AD, but of all the players to pick AD, that's gonna get you the
familiarity thing. I think that's all that really has to do with. I wouldn't be like I said, it wouldn't surprise me. We talked about this a few weeks ago. They both LeBron and Steph both had said a few years ago, I forget which podcast it was, that they would love to kind of end their careers together. Yep. I think we see the writing on the wall, especially with the Lakers recently retaining one of their young stars, right?
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, Austin Reeves got a big contract. I think he got a better contract than Trae Young, right?
Yeah.
So I think Trae was at 200. I think AR was at 185.
Yeah, it was what, $20 million difference?
Well, I mean, them taxes.
That's chump change in the NBA.
Yeah, Bronny getting more than that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly.
That's his allowance.
It's his allowance. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like, look, if that's what happens in the Western Conference,
I think it's fun, man. I think it's fun. I think if LeBron
I would rather see him go to Golden State than see him go back to Miami or go back to Cleveland. I would rather see him go play with
Yeah. I think for LeBron got a little sense of it in the Olympics, him and Steph. And hey man, that could be with a Draymond, like his level of defense and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it could be fun, man. Why not? Why not?
I think it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks, and as we get further into this NBA offseason. But since I'd say Marvin's got to get something out, so get it out, brother.
Nah, I'm just saying, man. I think LeBron just out here pump faking. I think LeBron. I don't think he's going nowhere, man. He gonna stay in LA. I think building him a new crib. He went to LA for a reason. His his son's in LA. Like, I think this is him just kind of flexing his muscles and telling the Lakers, man, look, I'm out here in Paris playing golf. I'll get back to y'all when I want to. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't going nowhere. I don't buy that. Not when he just got Luka. You know what I'm saying? Not when he got arguably, one of the greatest offensive talents in the history of the NBA and Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't. I don't see.
You don't buy it. That's all right, brother. We don't have to agree on this.
Yeah, but, and I don't know if it's even really, is he taking any kind of discount? I don't think so.
I think he would have to probably take a significant discount to do it.
Probably. He won't DeAndre Ayton up out of there. That's what he wants. And the whole world. That's what he want up out of there. But we'll see. But yeah, if LeBron is pump faking, we'll see. But I can't remember what they said they would even entertain to trade for LeBron, but LeBron got what? Maybe 2 left. He gonna do this year, and maybe 1 more after this year. I think Bryson will be getting ready to get drafted then, and we'll see. But hey man, if it's breaking news that he is going to go to state, that's gonna be some crazy stuff. Because I know 2 guys he wanted to play with was Draymond, and Steph. So,
what are some of your favorite NBA trades of all time? Because I came across this list when the trade happened of some of the blockbuster trades. Kareem to LA, Wilt to LA, Cat to New York, Kobe to the Lakers on draft day. Shaq to Miami. We just talked about Luka to LA. The SGA trade. The KG and Paul Pierce to the Nets, Paul Gasol trade, the Bill Russell trade. Like, what are some of your favorite trades or things that you felt that maybe trades that should have happened? What we're in the NBA offseason and the craziness is kind of just gearing up right now. So, Marvin, what are some of your favorite NBA trades of all time?
I'd have to say the Kobe one, just because when he got drafted and traded to the Lakers, soon after that, I was in a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles with a USC classmate of mine, and he walked in, and I remember saying to myself, "Hey, there's that guy that just got traded to the Lakers." At that point, he was a no-name. He really was. He was a high school phenom, but he wasn't on. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being like, man, that's that new guy that the Lakers just got. I forgot his name. And it was Kobe up there chilling in the Roscoe's on Gower. And obviously the rest is history. And it was great being in LA. It was great being in LA, as he was doing his thing. And then I was in Miami when LeBron came to the Heat. That wasn't a trade. That was free agency. That was something different. But I'd have to say the Lakers, man, just because how relevant he made them. 5 championships, in his time. The Lakers were not, that team when he got there. And it was just a great trade for LA and just the perfect personality for the city, the perfect personality for that role. And it just worked out in ways that you don't always see trades end up like that. Where you trade for a murky guy and you get 5 rings out of it. That's huge, man. So considering my ties to LA and just being able to see him out in the city, soon after that trade, that hit me emotionally. I'd have to say that Charlotte's giving away the second greatest shooting guard in history of the game.
What about you, Ben?
Oh man, I know it's crazy, but Luka going to the Lakers, man, it's still crazy because to pull that off, he was supposed to be the face of the match for as long as he's gonna be in the league. He's the Laker now. That was crazy. When When Kawhi got traded to the Raptors, I'm like, what? And then they win a chip. I'm like, okay, that was huge, man. I remember this trade.
That cost us a championship in my eyes.
Yeah, I remember this trade. It was crazy. I remember when KG and Paul Pierce, they're gonna come together with the Celtics. I remember when they got traded to the Nets. Like, we're gonna trade y'all together to the Nets. I'm like, dang, y'all gonna do them like that? But it is, to me, it is Kobe. Kobe is the reason why Luka is a Laker. They're like, dude, you got to get the guy in here. You got to, because the Lakers are a part of like 5 or 6 of these. The Lakers trades is like the New York Yankees getting players. Dude, we got to get a player that's going to cement this legacy. That's why Kobe say, man, other teams making the playoffs is cool. Lakers, man, this is either championship or bust. I ain't know, we had a good season, but yeah, I mean, SGA getting traded to the OKC was huge when you look at what he's meant. Because once again, SGA, it was KD and Russ and James Harden were supposed to already have won a chip. When they had all those guys on the same team. But the Lakers, to me, are the ones. Obviously, Bill Russell going to the Celtics, and Kareem coming from Milwaukee. That stuff is crazy because the Lakers are thinking legacy, not championship. Hey, dude, I need a player that can help continue the legacy. The legacy is already cemented, but the fact that Kawhi Leonard is the reason why the Toronto Raptors have a chip when they had Vince Carter and figure Tracy McGrady. This stuff is crazy. The players that come through these teams and the player that won. Because I don't think Kawhi Leonard is a greater Raptor. Well, he is a greater Raptor than Vince Carter because he won a chip. The best Raptor is, in my opinion, Vince Carter. But yeah, I did think that I think Shaq getting traded to the Heat from the Lakers. I'm like, what is, because they was like Kobe and Shaq. Kobe, really? And then when he goes to Miami, he wins the chip with D Wade. And then, but I would say that the trade to the Lakers, it's Paul Gasol to the Lakers. That was, I said, wait a minute, because it was Paul and Andrew Bynum and them, man. And LeBron said, okay, I got me 2 7-footers. One of them is an all-star. The other one is young. Got 2 chips out of them boys. So, yeah, the Lakers are part of the blockbusters. And if they do trade LeBron,
if you looked at that list, the majority of the bigger trades on the receiving end of it is the Los Angeles Lakers. So, I agree with you, with both of you, that Kobe's probably the biggest one. I remember the buzz around here when he declared, and some people were like, we don't know if he's ready yet, and it was all controversial thing, him kind of skipping college and all that other nonsense, and Sixers didn't go on him. Charlotte goes and drafts him, and then LA don't even wait. Don't even wait 2 hours to make a deal to bring him out there. And I thought that set the LA back up for their next, the next dynasty run, so to speak.
Steve, was you out there in high school?
Was that?
Was you out there when he was playing in high school?
I mean, like, he was on the news consistently here in Philadelphia. Consistently, because Lower Marion's a tri-state area school, so he was consistently in the news. So when he declared, it was a big deal. And you had your pundits out there that was trashing him because he's skipping college and he's going to be immature. He's not going to be able to do this. He's not going to be like. But then there was the ones be like, listen, he has the skill set. He could be the next great guard in the NBA. And LA did their due diligence, in my opinion, absolutely fleeced the Charlotte Hornets, and the rest is history in my opinion. But my worst one has to be the Charles Barkley trade. I think that was the worst return I've ever seen. The only thing the Sixers got out of that was Jeff Hornacek. So I mean,
because Barkley went out and balled in Houston. And
he played well for Phoenix too. He played well for Phoenix.
That's what I meant, Phoenix. Actually, yeah.
I thought everyone remembers him with the Rockets more. Let's be honest, But listen, I hated seeing him go. He was when I was a kid. He was my favorite Sixer. That was my first experience of losing a superstar. I was a little kid. You couldn't explain it to me. I didn't understand it. But yeah, it was definitely a rough one. I'm gonna pose a question to you, gentlemen. So we all see the changings going on and rule changes going on, baseball and football changing this, that, and the third. Say there's some crazy situation and Marvin, you get made the new the new guy running things over in the NBA. If there's a rule change, they want you to bring back a rule. What are you doing? What rule change are you going to do to the NBA to kind of make it better? You want to bring the hand checks back, remove that the defensive 3-second rule, move the 3-point line, eliminate coach's challenge, bring back the best of 5 first round in the playoffs. If you're the one pulling the reins there in the NBA, what rule changes you're going to do to make the game better?
I'm probably going to severely penalize flopping and maybe even push back the 3-point line. I'm trying to bring the inside game back, to be honest with you. I'm trying to bring the game that we all grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? Iverson going out there scoring 35 points with no threes. You know what I mean? Like Jordan out there dominating the paint and clutch situations. Like the game from the inside out. To me, the inside game is like the run game in football. You gotta have it. What do we do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this whole, I love Steph Curry. I do. He's really grown on me, and he's changed. And he's a true textbook definition game changer. He is. But is it a good thing? I can't stand watching some of these games where these dudes shooting up threes all day long. They don't even think about taking it to the hole. You know what I'm saying? So, and the flopping, man, dude, look, man, you big and you strong. You make man, go out there and just play the game. Just go and play the game. Stop flopping. Stop fishing for a foul. You know what I mean? And I understand how that could be strategic. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's just, to me, it pisses me off to these big ass dudes just dropping to the ground, crying and trying to get an Oscar. Holding their eye. I mean, come on, what y'all do? You like punks. You know what I'm saying? So push back that 3-point line.
I'm with you on pushing back the 3-point line.
Bring back the hand check, and I'm good with that. Bring back the inside game. That's what I'm doing.
What about you, Ben? You're the new commissioner of the NBA. What is your first order of business?
There will be no more load management. You will have to play in every game. We pay you to play basketball. What do you mean you're tired? You are paid to play. You will, if you're not hurt and you ain't on the injury list, you will be playing. That's number one, right? Big man, right? I cannot tell you to not shoot threes, but we need to teach, learning to play with your back to the basket. I would say, you know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. The two guys that have reshaped the NBA, Steph has reshaped the NBA from the 3-point line. Dirk has reshaped the game with the swing man. All these big dudes, they playing like Dirk. Because Dirk he was tall, but he couldn't handle Shaq and them. That's why his game moved. Look at all these dudes. And I'm telling you, the hand checking, man, got to come back. Because a lot of these dudes, they really can't dribble like that. Ain't that the threat to you? And here's the right hand checking, I think I would put that first. Everybody think, oh, we better athletes now in 2026. Lies. I don't believe that. They just giving y'all a lot of space and can't nobody defend. Get back to defending. And what do you mean? Kawhi's not playing tonight. Yes, the hell he is. Yes, he is. Oh, and how significant can be defined? The fines can be significant. If you're missing games because my tummy hurts. No. Michael Jordan, the flu game. I don't want to hear it. I am no more load management. The hand checking. Big men play that. Okay. Once again, Marv, Steve, you at the YMCA, you at LA Fitness. You want to just get you some runs in on the court. You walk in, a 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" dude comes in. Hey, bro, you running? Yeah. And you give it to him. And he's at the three-point line clapping. He'll say, if you don't get your behind down low, what are you doing? High percentage buckets. Shaq could not even shoot free throws and still had the career he had. So, big men, we want to teach y'all how to be big men again. I don't want to see 7'6" three-point shooters. I don't care that you can make it. Joel Embiid, you can shoot a three, man, but I need you to take more high percentage shots. You think, what, 7 feet from the basket, 20 feet from the basket? You tell me. But yeah, I hate load management. And the flopping, listen, if you flopping, you get fined, the team get fined.
No, listen, I'm going to end it right now. If you flop, it's a T. It's a T from the gate. Not fining you, not anything. No, I'm teeing you up right then and there. I've had enough of that aspect of it, but I love all of it. I definitely think the way the game is played today, they should move the three-point line back. I definitely believe in that.
It's a free throw to some of these dudes, man. It's crazy. And they've changed the game and altered the game. I mean, I'm surprised that the NBA isn't doing more for the fan experience from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, I mean, you watch these two go up and down the court. Ain't nobody thinking about driving to that hole. Nobody. People who have no business putting that ball up, shooting that long ball. Everybody does it.
I said it from the gate. The one thing that drives me nuts about Joel Embiid. One thing that drives me nuts. I'm like, dude, you're 7'4" and you're taking threes when literally you could walk up to the basket and just put your hand in there. Like,
okay, you know how this stuff is common sense. And I'm sorry it's taking us this long for the common sense committee to make its appearance. We are here. If you're playing against Utah, you're playing against a little kid on a little goal, a little Fisher Price goal. You're gonna dominate him because you're bigger than him. Like, I'm not gonna let you get no shots up. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. This goes back to when the breakaway goals first came out, and you can let it all the way down so you could dunk. You can't wait for your friend to come over that's shorter than you. I'm posterizing you. I'm not taking one shot. What does your little friend say? Well, you're only doing this because you're bigger than me. Hell yeah. That's basketball. And now, let me get that. Bruh. What? And that's not a high percentage shot, by the way. And Steph has come out and said, look, man, I didn't know that me doing this was going to cause this. Yeah, dude, it has. Like, you shake an entire generation, no matter how tall they are. How tall is Wemby? 7'6". Wemby with the three. Wemby with the three. Wemby with the alley. Alley. I mean, come on, bro. It's a waste of being. Listen, it's a waste of being tall if you can't play like a big man. Just like it's a waste of being big in football if you're not physical. Why be big? Because the first thing they're gonna say, bro, you should have been little. Playing like that, you soft.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, we got to get. And I know we sound like unks right now saying, oh, back in our day, basketball hand checking, big man, David Robinson, the Shaq, the Hakeem Olajuwon, the Tim Duncan, and the list goes on. You already know. Now, could you imagine Shaq at the three-point? Where's the big man at? Where's the rim protector? Who gonna get rebounds? Stop it. Stop that.
Yeah. And speaking of stop it, I came across this and I couldn't believe my ears, right? So obviously we all know soccer is kind of going crazy right now here in the United States as we are hosting the World Cup this year, right? And apparently, the Rams camp Curl was not happy that they had to pay full prices for tickets when they're playing soccer in their football stadium. Wait a minute. So because they're playing a game in the stadium where you play a game at, you don't own the stadium. So you're upset that you having to pay full prices for tickets because they're playing where the same place where you play at. Wow.
No. That's not what he's really saying. I don't think that's what he's really saying, Marv. See, I just said this. Everybody think they superstars because they in the NFL. You ain't Aaron Donald. You ain't Matt Stafford. Cause see, if you a superstar now, nobody really knew who you were walking in. You went the gate you usually come in. That person ain't working. These are World Cup people working here.
That person ain't
What's
working.
your name again? I play for the Rams. Who? I play for the Rams. Matthew Stafford? No. Devontae Adams? No. Puka Nacua? No. What's your name again? Because see, and once again, people don't like that. And then now it's our stadium. Well, here's the thought. I'm gonna give you 2 words. If you don't want to play the prize yet, don't go. Go home. Because we in America didn't realize how big the World Cup. It is the biggest sporting event known to man. The World Cup. Different cities, different states. And he's like, "Hey man, I come to see the soccer match." Ah. Well, where your ticket? What you mean with my ticket? I got to park in the VIP. Where your ticket at? I got to play full price. No, you don't got to come in, sir. That's what you don't got to do. And sir, and you make yourself look crazy. I was one of those people that didn't really understand. It took me some years back to really understand the magnitude of the World Cup. Listen to me, young man. How many times have you come to an event when you weren't playing on Sunday? I ain't never came. They were going to make you pay for that too. If you would have come to an event not during football season, they're going to make you pay for that too. Beyonce's there, you're going to have to pay. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what it was is he's saying, well, the World Cup is in America, so I'm an American football player. Don't care. Okay. You got it.
What are your thoughts on this one, Marvin? This is crazy.
This is just a young dude who don't really understand like the business of sports and how the NFL and these cities lease out these stadiums, and the NFL has been trumped by the World Cup. You know what I mean? He's right. Ben's right. I mean, in America, the NFL is the biggest sports thing going. But when it's World Cup season, everybody takes a back seat. Everybody is privileged to have a World Cup game in their stadium. You're lucky to have a World Cup game in your stadium. You know what I'm saying? So, and you being a who, you know what I'm saying? Somebody says your name, who? You know what I'm saying?
You're saying who? That's the first time I've heard that man's name. When this that's the first time I've heard his name.
Hold on, you know what it was? You know how like somebody say your name and the guy you say it to go, hold on for a second. Hey, yo, Mom, what's your name again? Do you know a so-and-so? And you go, who? He say he played for the Rams. What's his name? His name is so-and-so. Is that Stafford? No. Is it Adams or Nacua? No. Oh, man, is it Miles
Garrett?
No. Here you go. Listen. Well, tell him he got to pay.
Well, listen. Cam should go talk to Chad Johnson, because Chad Johnson, he loves himself some World Cup. And guess what? He saved his money when he was playing as a player, so he can go and travel and go to the World Cup games and do this, that, and the third. Maybe it's a thing that he's penny pinching because he's overspending on other areas. So
yeah, and the thing, there is a guy, and I thought this was fake. There is a guy that went to the World Cup that has a sign, and the sign says, "I sold a house." And I'm thinking, there's a guy that sold his crib to make it to the World Cup. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. He's like, sorry, Mom, I sold a house.
Now,
and I'm
on
like,
the other side of things, I get where Cam's coming from, because all right, so Philadelphia is one of the host cities, right? And one of the guys who normally like tailgates like Eagles games, Phillies games, etc., went down, right? You want to know what the price increase was for parking for regular cars and the extended vehicles, etc.? So it's normally like anywhere between $40 to $80, depending on if you have a regular car or if you got one of the big old caravans, right? Can you guess what the price of what was at the same parking lot for the World Cup?
What was it?
Take a look, my friend. So your regular vehicle, it costs you $150 to park there. If you had one of the big vans and you had to park at $600 just to park at the venue for the World Cup. So yeah, it's a business, and yeah, I do think that that the people who are running the World Cup are price gouging a little bit. So I get where Cam's coming from, but at the same time, like I'm with you guys. Like, look, like just because they play in your stadium don't mean you're entitled to discounted tickets, free tickets, or anything in between. That's the way the world works. You don't own the stadium. No, the owners of your team don't own the stadiums.
I mean, number one, I think once again, and Marv is definitely when you be talking about the business side, we're so naive in America when we don't understand. Like, there's a reason the NFL said, dude, we can be a monopoly when it comes to this sport, because no other continents or countries are gonna do this. That doesn't mean that the NFL is the biggest sport. It is the biggest sport in America. And so much so that we got it, 9 games this year overseas, 9 international games or something like that.
Yep.
The young man doesn't know what it's like to come in second, because I'm the creme de la creme in America. I'm an NFL player. Yeah, well, when's the last time you paid $600 for anything outside of, you paying for your mortgage or your rent? It costs $600 just to park. Just to park your car is $600. Number two, what people don't understand is if my team loses, they got to fly to another city. So that's a flight, that's hotels, that's food. How much is it gonna cost? How much? And you think Arthur Blank on here they charge $600 in LA, and he gonna charge $150 in LA? No, we gonna need $600 too. That's how it go. Hey man, what y'all charge? $600 for it? So the young man, number one, he's young. He's like, hey man, this is our stadium. Really? Yeah. Where'd you buy this stadium? Where'd you buy this? No. The Rams play here. Cool.
If I remember correctly, SoFi is shared between the Rams and the Chargers, right?
And the Chargers. And once again, they say, what's his name? Is it Justin Herbert? No, is it Derwin James? No. and once again, young man, you are a professional athlete. But if Messi would have walked by, security would have got you out the way so fast. So move. What you mean you ain't moving? For him, yes. So the World Cup is a spectacle. I mean, a friend of mine, he took his son to when South Africa was in Atlanta, and I said, man, how much were the tickets? You know what he said? I'm embarrassed to say. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much I paid for this ticket. Just know, been saving for a while. And hey, he'll be all right, young man. Just you played yourself.
Yeah, that's all right. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna pose this one to you. So we're talking about the business side of things, charging for this, that, and the third. Which sport, baseball, football, basketball, soccer, etc., do you think has the most expensive championship trophy?
The most expensive one?
It wouldn't shock me if that World Cup trophy, which is a little bit smaller, was the most expensive.
Yeah. I would.
Marvin is spot on.
20 mil?
No,
it is the most expensive.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Dude, the NFL ain't even in the mills.
Yeah, it's only $50K for that one, right?
Man, the NFL is saying no. What the NFL is saying, somebody might steal this. So how much we want to have to replace this thing?
But yeah, when you look at it, it basically the FIFA World Cup trophy is $20 million, right? Second is the Woodland Vase. That's a horse racing trophy. That's $4 million, right? Then you have the Borg Wander Trophy, which is a racing trophy. That's 3.5 mil, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so then you still going into it. The last one in the millions, it's still another soccer trophy. The FA World Cup is $1 million. The Lord Stanley's Cup is the most expensive North American sports championship trophy that is out there. When I first, I was like, "There's no way that." Apparently, it is. So so maybe that's what they're doing. They're trying to pay off having to create that that trophy, because that kind of blew my mind when I seen that.
I mean, hey, it just it's like this. If you have something that costs in the millions like that only adds to the mystique of it, right? Like the World Cup, 20-something. I mean, and like I say, I mean, how much does it cost to win something that the world is involved in? 20-something million. And that still sounds like a bargain. 20-something million. 21, 22 mil. Yeah, and to you Ronaldo fans out there, I'm not gonna do the Ronaldo versus Messi, right? Because Messi has won a World Cup. It's been documented on Netflix.
Yep.
I'm asking you two gentlemen, is it Ronaldo or is it Messi, the greatest of all time?
I'm gonna go Pele.
Oh,
I ain't going current. I'm going old school.
Yeah, you're probably looking at Messi.
I think,
we all got our choices.
Mbappe on his way. A man from France.
Mbappe, let me tell y'all something. When I lived in Dirty Jersey and I worked in the NY, and I was working at Bloomingdale's up there, and security in a sense. I was real close I was in Soho. I was real close to the Adidas store back when Messi was with Adidas. The reason why I know security will get you out the way, they got me out the way. I didn't know I was too close, though. I saw these cars, and my country behind. I'm just standing like this, and this 7-foot shack looking dude. You know how somebody move you, but they talking to you while they move you. Hey, back up. But he's moving me. And at the end, I'm like, hey, bro, don't be touching me. Because he was kind of walking off. Hey, who you touching? That joker turned around. My bad. I couldn't see who it was. And then finally, because Messi's little, when he stood up on something and waved, I said, God, dog, it was like 10 black trucks. And he was there to do an autograph signing. So I'm like, I'm going for the autograph. You know what the guy says? Are you on the list? Yeah. Yeah. Right there. You know how you point? I'm right there. Where? Right there. Whatever name you point at right there. He was like, show me your ID. Man, I left my ID at home. I ain't get in. I tried to. I want to get autograph for my kids, man. But I was like, it's this young man, they handled him with care. That's what you don't get about not getting in. Because just imagine if that's, I don't know, Steve Rychel or Marvin Powell. It ain't going to be, hey, move. Where your ticket at? What's your name again? Man, get out of here, man.
Think about this. Think about if they can allocate $20 million toward the trophy, right? When you look at the World Cup and the budget, how they pay the players, the security, the coaches, right? If you can allocate $20 million of your budget to the trophy, how much money are y'all really making out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's remarkable, man. It really
numbers
is.
that we can't fathom.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's in 2026 how much it costs. Just like you said, Steven, the Seahawks, they did y'all blueprint for their freaking Super Bowl ring. So, and once again, it's just from a status type thing. If Marvin Powell is over the World Cup, Marvin, what's the first thing you're doing? Hey, man, that price got to go up, baby. In America, it's all about, listen, man. I said, listen, we live in a stylistic world. I know we want to talk about substance. We live in a style. It's how it looks. What do you mean? Well, Travis Kelce, ask him what it's like, being Mr. Swift. Ask him what it does for him. And he has no problem being called that. He has no problem being said, what's your name again? Travis. Right? 21 mil in 2026. it's gonna be 50 mil 20 years from now. Easy. Because the gold is gonna be, coming from some country in Africa. The diamonds, it's gonna be, neon and orange, burnt orange. And hey man, so when somebody wins, they holding 20 mil in their hand. That's crazy. I am holding 20 million in my hand. Please take this. Type of insurance policy you gotta have for that. Dope. I like that. Which is another reason the young man got asked, "Who are you?" Who? Well, you might be looking at the World Cup champion, and you don't want to pay. Ha! Stop playing. It's people behind you that just paid $600 a part. If you don't get up out my face, bro, stop playing with me.
Going from that to some sad news that got announced over the last few days because reports came out that former NFL star Chris Johnson has revealed that he has ALS. Ben, I also want to start off with you on this one. What are your thoughts on what the Johnson family are going to have to go through?
I'm not gonna lie. When when it comes to the Titans, me being an alumni of the Titans, they always do the alumni events, and they got to talking about Chris Johnson over the weekend. It's just they were saying a lot more stuff about him. Should he be in the Titans Ring of Honor? What does he rank? And at a certain point, I'm like, man, they kind of like oversaturating us with Chris Johnson, and I'm thinking something was up. So then when I wake up yesterday, and I see it, and I'm seeing him. I never got a chance to meet Chris Johnson. My last year with the Titans in 2007, his first year with the Titans in 2008. So I never got to meet. I haven't gone to any alumni events. It was hard watching that, man, because he's been diagnosed for a year and he already can't talk. It's extremely aggressive. And Steve Gleason, yeah, he can't talk. He got diagnosed. He's 40. He got diagnosed when he was 39. So yesterday, when he was doing the interview with Michael Strahan, he's talking through the computer. He's looking at it. He can't talk. And so I weep for that man, because there's nothing. He didn't do anything. No, let me say this. No one does anything to get cancer or Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's or dementia or ALS. You don't do anything to get it. But his is a little more disturbing because usually, just like, even though this is most prevalent in Black people, sickle cell anemia, somebody in your family one of your parents have to have it, and they can give it to you. Nobody in his family has it. It's sporadic how he has it. To see Chris Johnson sitting there answering questions with his eyes on a screen, saying that he can't hold his daughter anymore, and he said his mind is still sharp and his body just don't cooperate. And the two things that stood out was he said that the doctor told him and his wife to get their affairs in order, and even with treatment, that gives him a couple of months. To call this, I feel really, really bad for him, man. But he's 40 years old, man. He's 41 this year. Hell of a player. But I think what he's doing is saying, look, I'm gonna fight. He gonna fight it. And his wife's sitting there. I hope that his wife is flooded with support, which I hope, I believe she will be. Michael Strahan was kind of getting choked up in the interview. He kept it together. But Marv, I don't know if you feel like this. Every single football player that ever played, you a brother of mine, whether I know you or not. And it do something to me, man. It really, really does. Because you gave the game of football everything. Everything. And sometimes the reward don't match the effort. It just don't. And my prayers are with Chris. I know he's from Orlando. They said this last Senior Bowl, he went there and he was mentoring them players. He gave out his phone number to say. So, yeah, man. Steve Gleason, who the guy knew that had, he's from the same. He's still alive. He's had it for a long time in a wheelchair, can't talk. But man, his wife said something that I'm gonna echo. She said, "Look, God does miracles, and He does." And I'm praying for a miracle, man. It was because my mom was like, she said, I saw it. And she said, he looked. I said, yeah, mama, but he can't speak already. He's not in the wheelchair yet, but he can't speak. So what they did, when they first diagnosed him with it, they recorded his voice on the machine, which is crazy. So when he's looking at the letters, it's speaking in his voice. So when you ask him a question and he responds, it's his voice, but he's looking at the letters on the screen.
The only time I say AI is a good thing.
Yeah, man, it's just rough, man. And like I say, I'm never gonna get used to players dying early. And I'm not calling for this man to die early. That's not what I'll never get used to that. That's never gonna be something that's gonna shake me as long as I got breath. And I don't know if you've seen him all, but it shook me, man. I'm like, God dang. It's like I knew it was something when Michael Strahan said, "You want something you want to say," and I saw the screen because at first they got like a little screen in front of him, and his wife stood next to him, and every time he asked him a question, he kind of squint his eyes, to kind of look at the. So yeah, man, it's rough. But my prayers are out to him and his 4 children, his wife, Brittany. I pray that the NFL community, people just pour love because she has to do everything now. I think he's physically can't really do much for himself at this point.
Marvin, I know this is kind of new news to you, so your kind of initial thoughts, reactions.
Yeah, so I saw on YouTube, I saw the thumbnail and the headline. I didn't realize he was to the point where he couldn't talk. I thought he was doing an interview and talking like we talking right here. So when you tell me he's reading it off the computer screen like Christopher Hawkins, that's impactful, man. Ben, I absolutely, man. The reason I got into the NFLPA is just because I miss being around the brothers and I want to be able to have impact and be a part of that, man. So yeah, all the boys that have won that shield absolutely have love for me, no doubt about it. And Chris was one of the stars of this league, one of the great players of this league. We're fortunate that this is not the path that most players have to deal with. It's I'm not gonna say it's uncommon, but this is the minority, if you will. But it's unfortunate, man, and I hate it. 40 years old, he's a baby. You're still a baby when you're 40, man. You a baby, man. And that's heartbreaking to hear. But it's man, it's life, man. This is why you pray. This is why you should live a life of gratitude. This is just stuff like this should motivate you to be a better man, better person. And I'm now that I've been told about the details of his situation, I'm going to go back and look at the interview and check it out, man. But it's heartbreaking. We have a very beautiful game, a beautiful game that I admit that's not meant. The human body wasn't meant for football. When God made us, he was not thinking about football. I'm going to tell you that right now. We play this game that we love. We play it we love. Most of us who get out the game, especially if you've been fortunate to play at the highest level, you're going to get out the game nicked up. You're going to have something. This is not the norm, man, but it's the reality. This is not the norm, but it's a reality, and it's unfortunate, and I hate it. So, my thoughts and prayers to that man and his family. And, it's heartbreaking, man. And listen, I feel that way whether you played football or not. You 40 years old dealing with this, 40 years old dealing with this.
Yeah, man, that's rough.
He got diagnosed when he was 39. He's 40. And like I said, ALS is all of them, man, not just all of them. When he was sitting there, because he's sitting, I'm not gonna ruin the interview for you. It just real life is good. And like you say, Bob, it's like, especially as me. I tell you this all the time, Steven, the stuff you be putting on Facebook, that's not just for you, man. When I be reading that stuff,
listen, I have some people who have reached out to me sometimes, like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good, dude. I just some of that stuff, it resonates with me. I think it's stuff that needs to be shared."
Every time, I'm an IG person more than a Facebook. Too many of my family members on there, they're a little nosier than I want them to be. But every time I see something on IG that I think is encouraging to me, I send it out to everybody I follow. And you know what's crazy? I send out to the guys. Every single person I send to replies. Every single time. So I know that men in general, we need to be more encouraging to each other. We need to be more supportive of each other. We ain't doing nothing but say, hey, man, I don't know who you are, but I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. Whatever you're trying to do in this life, man, give yourself some grace, man. Don't, because like I said, I don't do the man versus woman thing, but I know what men deal with because I am one. So as men, I just want to say, man, anytime we get a chance to encourage each other, let's make sure we do that, because real life, man, don't wait on nobody, don't care about nobody, don't happen to us all. But I pray that Chris Johnson, a miracle happens, man. That he say, hey, man, I'm ALS, because it's no cure for it yet. And I use the word yet, hesitantly, but we need to, and they saying that ALS research, different than cancer research, is underfunded. Yes. So we got to get them funds up to make sure we get more research, which I know when you come to research something like that, it takes millions upon millions to do it, but we can do it.
Who's the famous? Is this Lou Gehrig's? Who's the famous athlete?
Lou Gehrig.
Yes, exactly. You got that spot on, brother. Spot on.
Yeah, Lou Gehrig's disease. Yes, ALS.
I just think it's crazy that it takes somebody like an athlete for people to kind of stand up and take notice of these things.
Yeah,
Steve, it's not crazy. It's a testament to, again, sports, religion, and family are the biggest things in our culture, man. It is. You say what you want, laugh about it, good times, bad times. That's real. Yeah. Whether it's good or bad, it's real. So somebody who represents some kind of sports community steps up, says something, does something, goes through something. Now it resonates. Now people are connected to that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a testament to how big this thing really is in our life, and it's huge.
Yeah, it's hopefully the Johnson family gets enough support, love, and can make sure that Chris has got all the care and love he needs. That's all that we can hope for. And Ben's right. We do need to get some more funding towards the people in the ALS community, that people that have to deal with that. So it's definitely a tough one. Like you guys all said, guy that he's a baby. He's younger than all of us here. So it's definitely a tough one. Definitely one of those ones where Marvin's spot on. Be a better man, better father, better brother, better friend.
We all happen to you.
We all can do more. We all can do better. Sometimes we're selfish with our time, resources, etc. These are one of those times where I think we all need to kind of pull together, because it's regardless if he's a former athlete or whatever, it's a rough thing for any family to have to try to manage it and or overcome. So wanted to move on to some baseball. I have an impossible stat for you, and I want to see if anyone can name who the player is. There's only one time in baseball history that a batter has gone through an entire season without hitting into a double play. Can either of you guess, name, have any idea who that player could be?
I bet he's from Philly.
Huh?
I bet he's from Philly.
He's not from Philly.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I got one for you like that next week. Don't worry about it.
Hold on. He has an entire season and not hit into a double play?
Mm-hmm.
Shohei Ohtani?
He may be the most popular player in baseball, but I don't think
you know what? I will say Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn was my first choice when I first read this, and I had to just who it is mind-blowing to me.
Okay, it better not be what pitchers don't hit often.
No, it's not. So it's not a pitcher either. He's a everyday player.
If it was mind blowing, then it has to be somebody who.
He was an all-star. I'll say that much.
Okay, I'm focusing on you. Mind blowing. Cal Ripken.
From that era. He is from that era.
Wade Boggs.
No. All right. So I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
It is Craig Biggio.
Are you serious?
did not ground into a double play. He's the only player in Major League Baseball history to do such a thing. Craig Biggio. Out of all the players, I would have never, never guessed that.
I mean, that's to me, that's that's crazy. Okay, I mean, I would have never got Craig Biggio. I mean, I would have went through all these hitters, Sheffield, Barry Bonds, all these guys. Like, nope. But that's
a hard thing to do. 162 games and never hit us to a double play an entire year. Bravo to Craig Biggio for that 1997 season. That was that was when he accomplished that feat. 1997. Whew.
See, even on time, they can't do that. Like, I can't do that. I can do everything. I can do everything else. I can't do that. There is something I can't do.
Hey, listen. I mean, since Marvin was on the whole Philly thing, did you see what happened last week with the Phillies? They were the first team in Major League Baseball history to have 4 consecutive games that are down to their last out and win in the 9th inning.
I did see that.
So,
I mean,
and I'm going to say something.
8 runs in the bottom of the 9th.
Ben, are you ready?
Here we go. Go ahead.
Are you ready? Because you know it's coming. 3 games now. You only got 3 games up on us now.
I mean, number one, the Mets have already fired their,
Yeah, we'll see if the Mets can turn it around.
I will say this about the Phillies, though. I kept telling you this. I said, when it comes to the NL East, I don't care about the Mets. I don't want to hear about the Mets. They're gonna Met. The Phillies and the Nationals are always the teams that either, I'll say this, like with the Phillies, if y'all get too far out ahead, that's a problem. Because y'all ain't in the mood to let people catch y'all. You're like, hey, bro, I just think that when it comes to you guys, when y'all dealt with so much early in the season, I said, dude, if they figure it out, it's going to get ugly. And down to your last out, that's dangerous because it shows that y'all could do it. I say that to say, because my Braves was doing that, like, a couple of years ago, like, they called, I got sick of it. But from the 8th to 9th inning for my Braves a couple of years ago, it was the most exciting time in baseball. I mean, it wasn't good for my physical health, mental health either, because I'm sitting there watching this. But it's you guys are dangerous, especially in this in the NL East. I think you guys always been. You don't lack bats, you don't lack pitching, you don't lack talent, and you don't lack experience. It's just baseball. Baseball is weird as far as like how the seasons go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to say I'm surprised. Well, with all them all-stars over there, I'm not. It's just my Braves need to get it together. I tell you what, you guys, Austin Riley, you guys need a third baseman? Because Austin Riley can go. He can go.
Look, Bowman Stott are slugging over 500 right now over the last few weeks. So I think I'm good with a third baseman right now. We might need an outfielder though, because Aldris Garcia, tore pec muscle and is done for the year. So we need a right fielder again.
I'll
say this: there was a lot of talk in the offseason that from internally that Bryce Harper was an elite. Well, Bryce Harper is one of 2 NL batters that are over 50 RBIs and has over a 500 OBS. He is elite. Now, Dom Dombrowski needs to show the Philadelphia Phillies that he's still an elite GM. I think he did good last year with the Durantula trade. You got Mick Abel out of there. He isn't even in the major leagues for the Minnesota Twins right now. And Durant just he's 21 out of 20 saves. I think that's a pretty good move. You need another arm, you need another bat. If they can do that, they'll get over the hump in October. If not, then there's going to be a same repeat. But the fact that you guys a month and a half ago were 10.5 games up on us and it's down to 3 now, and we're not even at the All-Star break. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season.
I mean, but I can't. Like I said, I've seen too much baseball to know. You know, how many games back in the NBA is like being up by 10 going into the fourth quarter in the NFL? Something crazy about to happen, you know? And I think the thing about the Braves my Braves seem to play better when things are tight. We don't do well being what a year or so ago, how many games back where we was able to
injuries were your biggest problem then, but you know.
But I will say this. The Nationals don't won one. My Braves don't won one. I don't care. I don't want the Mets to win anything. The Mets to me is like Florida State. It's like the University of Georgia. I don't want them to win anything. And they're not. I believe you guys are due to win one. I believe the Phillies, it's gonna, you know, because Bryce Harper will not. He refuses to retire Mike Trout. I'm gonna have a World Series. I'm gonna have Mike Trout's not getting it. He's not. And I don't know unless somebody trade. Now, I heard some rumblings that the Braves might try to trade for Mike Trout. They want to do that.
I've been hearing Atlanta, Philadelphia.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I know this is biased. If Mike Trout go to the Phillies, that is some B. What? You got Bryce Harper and Mike Trout. That is a different.
Kyle Schwarber.
I will say this. I think you would look better in a Braves uniform. That's just me. I could be biased. You know?
Listen, if the Phillies make an offer, you know the hometown boys coming home. You already know that.
If Mike Trout does indeed become, you know, a Philly, and yeah, it's only right. He spends more time in Philadelphia than he does. I mean, in Anaheim. And Marv, it's Anaheim. That's in Los Angeles, right? That's in LA.
That's Orange County. So it's outside of Los Angeles, a little more south. People, listen, if you're not from California, people would say Anaheim is part of LA. You know, I'm just one of those type of deals. You know what I'm saying? It's not, but it's, you know, I don't know, hour and a half away, traffic down. You look at downtown Anaheim.
So it sounds like, Marv, when you meet people that say, I'm from LA, where you from? I'm from Anaheim. You like this. That's not LA.
Exactly.
What?
100%. 100%.
Gotcha.
Two quick ones before we wrap this one up. You know, over the last 2 weeks, I think we all can agree this is probably going to be the last full baseball season we might have in a few years. And this is just what Major League Baseball is doing to themselves at this point in time. Some of the proposed offers and changes that they want to do is absolutely ridiculous. One of the ones that they put out there is that they propose a complete overhaul of their domestic amateur entry system, removing any high school players from the draft that makes college players eligible after their sophomore season, which shorten the draft from 20 to 12 rounds. I agree with shortening the draft and, you know, cutting the bonus pool from basically, you know, almost 360 million to 200 million. I don't think gutting the amateur system is what Major League Baseball needs right now. And then you look at the other side of the proposals that they're doing within the CBA, right? They're proposing that a max contract length of a free agent be no more than 5 years. That a free agent player switching teams in year 6, retaining their own players, no deferred contracts, no qualifying offers are also gone. 5 years to free agency for players older than 30. That's cutting that. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. I think if you're a baseball fan, be ready. Be ready. I think this might be the last season we see in a few years. Do you guys think I'm wrong here, or is Major League Baseball digging their own graves as we speak?
If Major League Baseball gets away from the amateur system, I don't think they know what they're doing to baseball as a sport, not just MLB. You are cutting your legs out from under you. The amateur system, the greatest amateur system in sports is baseball. When you look at what they do with it and that's how a lot of those guys aren't going to make it to the majors, but that's how you keep growing the game with your minor league systems and your farm systems and things like that. Trying to put contract limits on guys when, I'm sorry, don't you get better in baseball as you get older? It's different in football. As I get closer to 30, I'm becoming better at this thing. and now you telling me you got a contract limit. They're trying to do all they can to say they want to do it. They want to do a salary cap, and they're not going for that. MLB is not going for that. And number two, when it comes to some of these rules, right? Some of these people that come up with rules in baseball, you ask themselves, do you know baseball at all? Like, or are you just a business person? Because I do think that Bryce, Harper, and Ohtani, those guys, they're gonna have to be ready to dig their heels in, man. This is going to get ugly. It's gonna get real ugly.
I'm gonna say it like this: with the gutting of the farm system really irritates me because you're going to lose out on opportunities of Bryce Harper. Remember, Bryce Harper's been on the cover of Sports Illustrated since he was 15 years old. What other sport this is what Ben was just talking about. Like, this is baseball's amateur system is probably one of the best. And not just that, it's not an easy thing to get through the minor leagues to get to the major league. A lot of times, you don't see 19-year-old baseball players, do you? No. So I don't really see what they're doing. And in my opinion, way I'm looking at all this is how the owners can spend less money and keep more in their pocket. That's how it looks. That's how it looks to me.
That's always the bottom line with these owners. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is not a sport. It's a business. And it's a business where they want to make money and spend less money. No different if, they owned Target or Walmart or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big baseball guy at all, but what I do know is that baseball was suffering for a lot of years. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's made somewhat of a comeback. It's not one of the top 3 sports in America. NFL, college football.
It is no longer America's favorite pastime. Point blank.
Whoa. And Marvin, you're like this. How many scouts do you think, professional baseball scouts, you think there are? Professional baseball scouts.
I would say 100,000 at least.
A lot. I was going to say a lot.
It's not that many. There are approximately 1,700 to 1,900 professional scouts, professional ones, right? Here's the thing, right? That the hardest thing about being a business owner is when you got to make budget cuts. It's not going to be pretty, and it usually starts on the lower tier. But the farm system in the major leagues, it is sophisticated. I'm talking, it's baseball players everywhere. I mean, football fields have to be 100 yards, 100 yards long, 53.5 yards wide. A baseball diamond, let's get it. Let's do it. Every other. So I think that sometimes when you are the Bryce Harpers of the world or you are the Shohei Ohtanis of the world, a part of being a superstar, if you are involved in contract negotiations, is learning I am doing this for the present and the future. Because people like your dad, Bob, what he really meant to the game is because Al Capone is outside. That's what he really means to the game. To say, yeah, I'm a good player, great player, sorry. But I got to do this for the present and future players coming behind me. So your father's impact that's why I say I can't wait for the Netflix of 30 for 30, because it goes so much farther than what he did on the field. Your dad goes, wait a minute, man. If I'm the highest paid O-lineman at one given time, I got to use my leverage and my influence on these owners. So and that's what I hope these players are ready for. And I'm talking about the faces now. Excuse me, to not let these owners bully them, which means, and I know they might not want to say this, how many players 25 guys on a baseball team? Is it 25?
Yeah, I believe that's it.
Some of these guys, and I'm not, and this is just the country boy coming out of me. If I'm a, $40 million a year player, and I've been doing that for a while, and I know we're gonna be here for a while, the 16th through the 25th player on the roster, what they make in a year, I might make in a check. I got to make sure they're good while we doing it. See, that's what no one wants to say. Hey, I'm getting in your business. This thing might last a year or so. I'm gonna have to look out for you. And for people saying, well, Ben, that ain't your business, the hell it ain't. Yes, it is. It is my business. And I'm talking about the ones that can't afford it, the ones that get endorsements, because what makes contract negotiations speed up is the guys that don't make millions every year. They making good money now, but it's like, hey man, my kid ain't in private school. My kid, you see where I live at? I drive by. You live in a neighborhood. I drive by your neighborhood. I said I live by you. I didn't say I live where you live. Marietta is big. Decatur is big. Philly is big. So don't say I live, so I hope they're ready to do that, because I do agree, Steven. When the commissioner tried to come and talk to Bryce Harper said, get the F out of my it's not gonna be good, man. Because, and Marvin, you help me understand this more. There's two realities going on now. There's the players and there's the owner. They are not the same by no stretch.
No.
So, hey man, we'll see what happens.
Buckle up, baseball fans. It's going to be an interesting winter. I'll say that much. But last one I want to bring up. Obviously, over the last few weeks, BKFC's made a couple announcements. They are having a network deal with Fox coming. I told you guys back in February this was going to be a thing. It is official. They announced it. On top of that, obviously, Liberty Brawl is going to be here in Philadelphia July 3rd, but they're even moving even further because they officially have their fighters are going to have their own trading cards with Oyaz, and bunch of the fighters have already posted up some of their inserts and stuff like that. BKFC is making a lot of noise. Fox deal, card deals. What the growth they've done over the past handful of years. I think it's interesting. We'll see what else they're going to be doing to kind of grow the sports, grow their athletes. But the fans should be extremely happy the fact that you're getting trading cards, which probably means you're going to get action figures and things like that at some point in time. But the powers that be in BKFC, Dave Feldman, Conor McGregor, all them guys, they're making the right moves, in my opinion. Obviously, nobody's perfect when it comes to fight promotion and stuff like that, but I think they're making moves that are going to be sustainable for the fans and for the athletes. Fox, card deals, BKFC, I like it. It's a move.
I like it. Conor McGregor and company. He's using his influence. He's using his celebrity. He's using his leverage to look at Dana White and them and say, hey, man, remember them conversations we used to have, and we used to tell you guys, hey, man, why don't y'all push us more? What do you mean? Well, when a kid can walk in Walmart or Target, there go my action figure. That perception makes me bigger. I'm sitting, the He-Man, it's not called He-Man at the theaters. I'm sitting there looking at my nephew and said, well, I remember when the Power was a great skull, man. What do you mean? Like, I grew up watching He-Man, brother. He like, oh, you did this? Like, hey. No, I do this. No, you new to this. I'm true to this. What you mean? With the saber-tooth tiger and all that kind of stuff. Why make things harder? If it's wrestling, what do wrestling have? They have action figures, don't they? Huh? That's what I'm saying. Look, Conor McGregor is telling Dana White, dude, you didn't do enough. And this is coming from me, I'm the cash cow. Me and Ronda Rousey and John Jones and Rampage. I got a bunch of friends that had to do Ultimate Fighter. And they had to do all this stuff. So, yeah, it just makes sense. Bare knuckle, Conor McGregor, action figures, promotions. I'm sorry. Livable compensation. I shouldn't have to get knocked out of the night to get enough money to survive until my next match. I understand all these things. So, yeah, I'm with it. And let me tell Dana White something. I know you were just at the White House and all that other kind of stuff, and you doing this other, and I paid this. You will get lapped. I'm telling you, play around too long, not getting these big matches. Because I remember with UFC, they putting on matches like boxing. Dude, they doing it every other month. Now it's, we got to get people that's coming out of retirement after 15 years to fight. When we knew Ronda Rousey was going to beat her up. Come on. Like, man, I appreciate you losing the weight, and your mom now, Ronda Rousey was beating people in her prime. What you think she gonna do to you at old age? Put you in a hole. But I do like what's going on. I like underdogs who coming for the throat, of the mainstream. I like it because
I'll say this: TKO has destroyed the UFC, and that's why they're in the problem. And TKO is not only destroying the UFC, but a lot of the WWE and wrestling fans are not happy with how they're running it. BKFC, with what they've done, like I said, big deal with Fox. You just got a card deal. I think, and it's going to continue to grow, and I think they're going to continue to come at the throat of the UFC as one of the premier combat sports companies here in the United States, regardless if it's boxing or whatever. I think they're on the track to do the right things. What are your thoughts, Marvin? Did you see bare knuckle making a Fox deal on your 2026 bingo card?
You know something? I enjoy the mixed martial arts. I watch. I'll say I watch some of the bigger fights every year. But just as an entrepreneur, I'm kind of with Ben. I like to see the small man, inspired by the bigger entity and want to go out there and do his own thing. It takes balls to do that. It takes courage. I mean, it takes a lot to go out there and put yourself against a major entity like UFC. But it's the American way. You know what I mean? Like the greatest companies and opportunities in America have come from ambitious people who wanted more, who wanted something different, you know what I'm saying, who looked at the big brand and said, you guys ain't quite doing it right. So, yeah, I'm all for it, man. This is truly an American thing to do. And I'm with it, and I love it. And no, I never really saw anything challenging the UFC just because of how big they were becoming.
Yep.
I remember when they started. So, it takes a lot, man. It does to do that, and it's all good. But if you pay attention, there are a lot of significant companies out there, shoe brands, car brands, and you think, I remember when not Tesla.
Remember when Hyundai first came out?
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
It was a bomb, right? The first 10 years, the cars were garbage.
Yeah.
Now they're one of the top rated cars in the United States.
Yeah. So again, I'm all for that. I understand that model and that mentality. So I think it's a good thing. And if anything, it's going to make Dana White step up his game and create a better business model. Period.
Or get left. Or because the whole thing about
it, in my opinion, they've been left. As far as growth and popularity goes, they've been left. The only thing that some of these other promotions like the BKFC don't have is the revenue that the UFC pulls in, is because they've built that fan base over the last 30 years or so. So, when you're looking at we're looking at a sport that's not even 10 years old yet. It's not even 10 years old yet. So,
I mean, look, I'm trying to tell you, when the powers that be, that being Conor McGregor, and putting his name behind something, that's a credibility.
Yep.
I remember when what did The Rock do? The Rock sat back and watched what the XFL was doing. He said, "Listen, I'm gonna do it over here, the UFL. I'm just gonna do it a little bit better." Where's XFL at now? I'm just telling you, the right person come through and snatch it up.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and because Conor McGregor goes, "Hey man, how do I grow this? By making this a sport to where I got to make my fighters happy, which means they're gonna have better fights, and the fans will come. We want to see people get beat the hell up, and it's legal. We paying for that. We paying for that. So, hey man, and I just like what's going on. Like I said, this is not a knock against Dana White. Sometimes you get rich and you get comfortable when you're supposed to keep going. And
no, I think when TKO bought them out, they gave him enough money where he doesn't care anymore.
Hey man,
that's why Hunter Campbell's there and he's pulling all the strings now. Dana White is the face of it, but he's not actually doing anything anymore. So
he get to be the one show up to the meeting and shake.
Yeah, basically, like when they do the press con, that he's just there to answer questions. Like he's, as far as matchmaking, contract negotiations, all that, he has nothing to do with that anymore.
Listen, and I'm pretty sure he put in his time. I'm not knocking.
Well, no, I think that's why you've seen the whole Zuffa boxing thing come up and him doing more of the boxing, because that's what he's passionate about. That's what he has his hands all in right now. So. It's gonna be.
And I gotta do this before we go. Listen, happy birthday, mom! Happy birthday, mom! Today is my mom's birthday. She's I'm not gonna say how old she is because she don't say keep people out of her business. But happy birthday, Mama! You know, another year on this planet.
Yeah.
And Daddy, whatever you have to do for her birthday, listen, Daddy, your money, my money is your money, Daddy. So you use your money for all of us today. Come on.
Happy
All right,
birthday.
Marvin, final thoughts.
Man, we got 60 days till Trojan football. I think we got like 70 till NFL football. This is the hardest part of the year for me personally. I'm heavy football. I like basketball. I'm thankful that the World Cup is serving as a filler to help me out. Baseball, you know, I appreciate playoff baseball if it's Yankees, Dodgers, but this is the toughest part of the year for me. So I'm just counting down the days till we get training camp going. So I can kind of get back into my element and get back to my happy mode for the next 6 months. Those are my final thoughts.
I don't blame you there, Marvin. Another fun one in the books this afternoon. I'm Steve. That's Marvin. That's Ben. This was another episode of The Fan in the End. We will catch you guys next week, my friend. Peace on out.
All right.